This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream will start very soon. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome back to what possibly could be the last video of 2022. Hard to say, really. We'll see how prolific I feel like being over the next few days. But it's been a busy, hectic few weeks, and people need to recharge their batteries. They're not machines, you know. Right, what we're going to do today is, before we start, I'm just going to mention Classic Watch 2023.ml yet again. The background work is going on slowly but surely, and the sites can be found at classicwatch2023.ml. You'll see there that there's just a little message informing everybody what's going on. I mean, websites are very strange. It's amazing how much work goes on them behind the scenes. Nobody really sees that. I mean, the website looks the same as it was in the last video, but so much work's been done on it in the background. It's incredible, really, to see that it looks as though nothing has happened. But that's the Classic Watch 2023.ml. All right then, everybody. We're starting to get these horses now onto ranked in some sort of order on Classic Watch 2023. Currently, we've got 63 horses. That we've ranked 5 of them only. What I'll do is I'll link a video to that 5 at the end of the video. I can't do it now because I need my 5 cards for the 5 horses. For some reason, YouTube only give you the option to add 5 cards in a video, when really I could, if they'd have let me add 63 cards, I would have done one whole video. So really what they make you do is they make you spam and upload content when you don't really want to get your message out there. I would much rather have done this all in one video. They've made it impossible to do that by only allowing me 5 reference points in a whole video. Enough banging on about the intricacies of YouTube scams. We looked at 1 to 5 last time. I don't think there can be many complaints about them 5. People will probably be wondering how I've left certain horses off and how certain horses have been included. It's all about opinions, boys and girls, isn't it? Let's just see. Let's judge them all. Hopefully, we'll all be on this planet this time next year, and we can all relax and do Classic Watch 2023, the verdict, and see how they all got on. There's no need to fret about which one's getting good now. Let the fucking horses race. Yeah, is what I'm going to say before we jump to any conclusions. This is just one person's independent view. I'm not God. It's not going to be what's going to happen, is it? Right, enough lecturing. We're going to start by taking a look at number 6. 6 to 10, I found tricky, to be honest, ranking them in order. I wanted number 10 a lot higher, but I'll explain why it's not in the moment. But I think, again, these, without any shadow of a doubt, are totally rock solid propositions. The first one we're going to take a look at is number 6, Commissioning, trained by John and Thady Gosden. I mean, I like the pedigree of this horse, and I was a lot stronger on it. I wasn't impressed when it won the Fillies Mile. I just wasn't impressed. I just wasn't. Visually, it looks an effort for the horse, and the grind of a mile. This horse could run a lot further. Being by Kingman, is it going to get a mile and a half? It's an interesting horse. It's an unbeaten horse. It's done absolutely nothing wrong. It's won the Rockfell and the Fillies Mile, 2 arguably pivotal UK classic trials. It has to rate highly with the pedigree it's got. I was expecting it to be a lot more visually impressive in the Fillies Mile 3rd time out than what it was. But it got the job done, and let's see how she can progress next season against horses, against the milers. Will it stay a mile and a half? Is it an Oaks horse? It'll look like an Oaks horse in running in the Fillies Mile to me. Very good horse, very well bred horse. I'm not putting anybody off it. I'm just trying to explain that in the world of I don't know how many horses there are registered on the flat in the UK and Ireland. I'm just trying to explain why it's not in my first 5. Because people would probably have expected it to have ranked quite higher than number 6. Number 7, I think will surprise a few people. Noble Style. I mean, this horse here, I love this horse. Again, by Kingman. But this one looks as though it had the pace in the gym crack to be a sort of Guineas horse that I would want. You know, plenty of turn of foot. I've always said that the Guineas, especially in the UK, not so much Ireland, is the last 2-year-old pattern race of 2022. You know, a lot of this 2-year-old form. I mean, look at a horse last year like the other Godolphin horse that won the National Stakes the other year. But the name escapes me a bit now. But that won the Irish Guineas, didn't it? And it sort of didn't. Then it regressed in the Eclipse after that. You know, Native Trail, that's the one. It just held on, didn't it? You know, so it doesn't surprise me that this unbeaten horse. You know, I hope they don't see it as a sprinter because that will disappoint me. But I've had to put Noble Style up quite high because I do think if it runs in a classic, it will take all the beating. You know, it's a very good horse. I mean, I'm hoping that they might run it in the even money in the Craven. You know, to prove it stays 7 furlongs at least. And then there's also Maidan as well. You know, what have they got planned for their horses at Maidan? You know, I remember when they ran Massar. It didn't stop him winning the Derby. He's running Maidan at 3 before the UK 3-year-old season. But I don't think it helped him. You know, Noble Style, good horse. You know, I'm hoping that this could be a Guineas horse. Hopefully somewhere along the line. Number 8, people will be saying, how is this horse so low, I think. It is the Aidan O'Brien trained Little Big Bear. The horse has done very little wrong since it lost first time out, winning at listed, Group 3, and then in a scintillating performance in August when it won the Phoenix Stakes, again over 6 furlongs. You know, this is a very interesting prospect. Why is it so low? I will tell you now. Anybody watching this video that's asking that question, go and look. Go and look how many classics the stallion, No Nay Never. See how many classic winners that stallion has sired. Go and have a look now and then come back to me and tell me why it's not higher. I mean, I don't think anything needs more to be said than that. This is a massive year for the sire, No Nay Never. He's had some fantastic 2-year-old winners this year. And we're looking for one. One's going to have to win classics before they get rated higher than that. It's as simple as that, you know. Very nice 2-year-old. Top class 2-year-old, really. But are they going to train on? Is this a classic horse? Time will tell. I've had to put it in there because on 2-year-old form, if this turns up at Newmarket in the 2,000 guineas, it could be the biggest certainty since, I don't know, maybe from there, maybe George Washington. I thought that was a good thing when that won Guineas. You know, they've had Guineas winners obviously in the past, like Henry the Navigator and horses like that, Camelot. Probably 10 more that I've forgotten. But ones I've actually fancied myself on the form, you know, this one, if that turns up at Newmarket, I think this Little Big Bear, you know, it could be interesting. And I've had to put it at number 8 because of the record of the sire. Number 9, I think, is another one really that could be unlucky. If I was voting this with my heart, this would have definitely been in the top 5, Statuette. Because Tenebrism, although she didn't win a classic for us this year, she did very well. She landed her Group 1, you know, and she's a very nice filly. And this Justify side filly, I think, will stay a bit further than what Tenebrism did. And Justify again, an unproven sire as we head into the first 3-year-old crop of the US Triple Crown winner. You know, I just hope that they let this filly stride out. I've not read about her having any setbacks. They got her out quite quick in May and June. Got a Group 2 with her. And then she was never seen again. I've not read of her having any setbacks. Maybe it's just a case of they know what they've got and they're waiting for the classics. I don't know. But this, to me, is a very fascinating horse that is very unlucky not to rate higher than number 9, Statuette. Last, but by no means least, is Mediate. You know, arguably the unluckiest horse on this list. Another by No Nay Never. But I could not have a horse rated in the top 5 that been beaten so easily by the number 1 horse. The 2022, the Moyglare Stud Stakes, Tahira, our number 1 selection, made this horse look very slow. You know, pedestrian almost. And I looked at the pedigree of this horse and I knew it wasn't slow. You know, Cheveley Park run, I think was what it was, back to 6 furlongs. The encouraging run to me was the when they stepped it up to a mile. It really did. In the Breeders' Cup, it oozed class that day. They don't have to race to here all the time. You know, they can go and race somewhere else. And I'd be quite happy if they did that. And won a few classics, you know. I cannot leave this horse off. It was going to be probably 11 to 20 before it won at the Breeders' Cup. It proved to me it got a mile that day. And although it's been fairly comfortably beaten by Tahira, we're never scared of one horse, ever. You know, there's plenty of races to go round. And I'm hoping that Mediate can become a classic contender at some point. You know? So that's 6 to 10 covered. And now things will get tricky. What's going to happen now is I think we'll probably leave it until the trials because we've got others, but there's more question marks than there is things set in stone, I think, for a lot of them. So the other 43, they might just have to earn their place now on the site. We've got these 10. I'm happy with this 10. Now, how can there not be races to be won with this 10? It's disappointing there's no French ones. Probably a good thing. You know, the French. If people watch the verdict, the French one, you know, they didn't really do the job last year. We had 4 fourths, I think, or 3 fourths. Can't remember how many now. But it's going to be interesting to see how these 10 get on, I think. What I'm going to do is at the end of this video, I'm going to put a card up. It's allowed me one more in an end video to put a link to this playlist. It's going to have all the Classic Watch 2023 rankings. There's only one video in it at the minute, but it is the horses ranked number 1 to number 5. So that'll be there at some point as well. That'll be there at the end of this video. But for now, I'm going to say thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much for supporting the channel in the unique way. It's gathered a lot more momentum than what I ever anticipated it would, to be honest. I mean, the purpose of this channel is for me to embed these videos into my own websites. You know, no other reason. You know, I couldn't care less if people watched them. Couldn't care less. People find them helpful. That'd be fantastic. You know, and they help people. But my main purpose of them is to feed my own site content. You know, last year, Classic Watch 2022, it took a long time to compile with me typing hours on end paragraphs for one horse. It'd take 3 hours to compile, you know. And it'd be so easy just to open them all up in videos and me bang on about them in 10-minute video segments, which is what happened, you know. Chances are a lot of the 63 horses won't even get on the site, Classic Watch 2023, you know. But for now, enjoy the video that's at the end of this video, the top 1 to 5. Then we've got the top 10 now settled. Hopefully in the next 3 or 4 weeks they'll make themselves on to Classic Watch 2023 at some point. All right, thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Christmas and New Year festivities and take care.